On one hand, the war-torn country is always at risk from terrorism. On the other, the Taliban's tight limitations have gripped the nation. The hardliners have deprived millions of Afghan women of their right to education, ousted tens of thousands of women from jobs, and banned women businesses and all sorts of activism. They have trampled on Afghan women today and forced them back into dark ages. In the latest, the Taliban in Balkh province have said female patients should not visit male doctors. Let's take a closer look at what this actually means.
A brave woman in Afghanistan with a child in her hand could be seen writing education, work, freedom on a wall. She is among the millions of Afghan women who can no longer work in Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. Women in the country are now using graffiti as a form of protest. Since wresting power in August 2021, the Taliban have systematically snatched away the freedom and rights of women in the country. In the latest, Taliban issued a new ruling in Balkh province stating that Afghan women are not allowed to visit male doctors. According to media reports, the decree directs hospitals to ensure that male doctors do not treat female patients. The country's female medical professionals and students are fearing that women will lose their lives for the lack of medical supervision.
Women have equal rights in any country and in any society. There is no religious or legal document which prohibits this. The Taliban, on the other hand, claim that they are ruling Afghanistan as per Sharia, whereas there is no restriction on women's education and equal rights in the Sharia as well. So they are just following their own dogmatic, extremely conservative and heretic ideologies, which are not in tune with the universal human rights in the country. Despite the international community having highlighted to them from time to time, including the Organization for Islamic Cooperation only recently, there has been no change in the attitude of the Taliban.
The Taliban claimed under its rule, this time women would be accorded every right within the confines of Sharia law. However, in the months that have followed, the de facto rulers have imposed harsh restrictions on women's education and their access to employment. In December last year, the Taliban banned women aid workers after claiming that women are not wearing their hijabs properly. It is obvious that ban places further limitations on a woman's capacity to sustain herself. The United Nations is trying to get the Taliban to reverse its ban on women aid workers. They argue that women are needed to deliver aid to other women, as the Taliban rule prevents women from meeting men who they are not related to. This means aid agencies staffed by men will not be able to reach many who are in need of care. This means women would be deprived of aid during a food crisis.
واقعاتش در طول سال موجود است. متاسفانه در واقعاتی که هوا سرد میشه واقعات زیادتر میشه. اگر هوا بسیار کثیف میشه واقعات زیادتر میشه. کسایی که اقتصاد ضعیف دارن، کسایی که نمیتونه خانه‌های خود خوب گرم بکنه در زمستان، کالای گرم بر اطفال خود بپوشانند، کسایی که اطفال خود واکسین نمیکنن، این در مجموع یک گروپی از این اطفال.
Afghanistan is the only country in the world where girls are banned from going to high schools and effectively banned from political participation. Today, they have imposed a primitive government with harsh rules, erasing centuries of female progress. The hardliners have denied millions of women the right to an education, fired tens of thousands of women from government jobs, and outlawed their businesses and various forms of activism. A recent analysis by the UN Children's Fund found that prohibiting girls from attending high school also has a financial cost, costing the nation 2.5% of its annual GDP. According to UNICEF, if the 3 million girls in the current cohort finished secondary school and entered the workforce, the Afghan economy would grow by at least $5.4 billion. However, it appears that under the current circumstances, their contribution is headed towards zero.